Yes, my people. Tonic man and Wafak. Again, again, again. Again, a little Wafak. Give you a little bit of how he sees life and what is relevant and non-relevant. Come on, Wafak. Take the seat.
Yeah. Yes, my people. Now, um, let me get straight into it. Now, when you look at Christianity, Christianity, as a past Seventh Day Adventist, I was trained to train others to be humble and to be obedient to a book which is called the Bible, the King James Version Bible. And I was very, 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 very good at it. There are so many people that came to know Christ as I was taught. But having been exposed to such light as I have now, I am saying to the entire world, the Bible was written and given to keep us in subjection. It is not real, it is an allegory. I could remember one while I was living in Barbados, he had this gentleman, or brother, I will call him, Anderson from Guyana. And we were together on a construction site. And while we were on that site, we accustomed talking about Christ going to heaven, the love of the brotherhood and things like that. And I remember one day during our conversation, Anderson said to me and to the other workmates on the site, he said, "Brother, the Bible is an allegory." And I asked him, I told him, I said, "Brother, do you really understand what you're saying? You are saying that the Bible is an allegory?" He said, "Yes, the Bible is an allegory." Now, an allegory means something that is fake, a story, something that is made up, it's not real. And I could recall because I see at that time that this brother was driving, as it were, the the people whom I was trying to converse with, trying to win to Christ, that he was disturbing or driving them away. Because the two of us supposed to be belonging to the same organization and working towards the same common goal, getting people to come to Christ to head to heaven, as we were taught. And I was angry, not to the point of being violent, but I was angry. And I could recall I took a concrete nail and I held the brother Anderson hand, his left hand, and I said, "Brother," in the presence of the other guys whom I was trying to talk with, I said, "Brother, are you saying to me?" And I held up his hand, opened his hand, and took the concrete nail and pushed it in his hand like this. And I asked, "So you are telling me that Jesus Christ did not went on the cross of Calvary and die and feel the nail going through his hand and bled and felt pain?" He said, "No, the Bible is an allegory. That story is an allegory." At that time, I dropped his hand and I began to look at that brother in a different light. And when we go back to church and he gets up on the pulpit to preach when it is his time, I will say to myself, if the congregation would know who this man on the pulpit is, they will all walk out from here, from this place. He is not real, he's false. He is false. I could remember again we had a crusade in a place called there was Christ in Christchurch area, and this, well, before I get to that part, in the newspaper There are certain sections which they normally have highlighting the horoscope, the month in which you were born, if you and the sign, like if you was a Scorpio or the different signs of the different months, and we were trained that these things are evil. The horoscope is evil. Don't look at it. Don't read it. It is evil. And this particular preacher came from overseas and was preaching in the crusade, telling the congregation that the horoscope is good. And members in the congregation, including myself, was looking at each other and looking at this man as if he is false, hoping that he will say, okay, that he's using that as an example. But the man was saying that the thing is real, the horoscope is real. It is real. And only now that they come to this light, I recognize that the horoscope, the signs on which the months and the signs on which one was born, they're real. There's nothing evil about them. Nothing evil whatsoever. Again, the first woman that I've ever heard said that she was a goddess was my mother. Correct. And it was very small, very young at that time. My mother. Having come to this light, which is now at my disposal, I overstood, as a matter of fact, that we are gods and goddesses.
I'm gonna say yes.
Not what the Caucasoids, the Caucasians, and even our melanated brothers, who the Caucasians use and put in place because of greed, they accept those positions to keep us indoctrinated, to make us believe that we are less than who we are. There are other parts in the Bible which I read, like for instance, like Genesis, which says that God told, after God created man and he gave man, breathed the breath of life into man, and he gave man dominion, both male and female, dominion over this planet Earth. And there's a part which says that after Adam and Eve sinned, the Most High said to Eve, now that you have sinned, your husband shall rule over you. In other words, he shall be the head. All of those stories they make up. He shall be the head. I come to understand, to understand now that both the man and the woman are the head. No one can tell me that my goddess is not the head of my home and that I am only the head. No, I would not accept that, not teach that anymore. The woman is equal. She's a goddess. I am a god. If you accept your position as well, you will understand as a male that you is a god and your princes or your empresses, they are goddesses. Do not treat them less than who they are. Don't think outside of the box. The system is not real at present. It is not real. The system is fraudulent. Let me show you again how it is fraudulent. The politicians, right? Whether BLP or NDP or DDP or CDP, let's say one of them is in power and one is trying to get the other out, and the one that is in is trying to keep the one that is out from getting in. You will hear one will say to you, John Public, don't allow X to get into power because X is fraudulent. X will waste the money, the resources, or they will run the country up in a deficit. The whole entourage, the whole package, just to get your votes. Now, if and when X get into power, or X will tell you as well, don't try to take D out of power because D is not good. Check and see while D is in power, crime and violence is on the increase. Things is not going well. If perchance that X gets in when the election is called, do you know that D normally comes to the public and say to the public, well, congratulate X and we hope to work with X for the next 5 or the next 10 years, vice versa, which tells me they are not real. Because if you're saying to me, while X is out, X is no good, now that X win, how are you saying to me now that X, you're going to work with X and congratulating X? Something wrong with the system. Definitely wrong. For instance, again, my brother Tony Ike Ali spoke about Bush when they blow down the Twin Tower just to accomplish their evil and greedy gains. During the election, I can recall George Bush Jr., as they said, that he stole the election, and there was an uproar. There was an uproar that the election did not went right. Shortly after, the Twin Tower was imploded, right? Implode. They use implosion instead of explosion. And Bush came and said to the world on the media, I am now going to hunt down or look or seek out the perpetrator and bring them to justice. The enemy of America will never go unnoticed. Do you know, at that time, the public's attention changed from the election that was allegedly stolen, that Bush allegedly stole, and now focus on Bush to support Bush to go after Saddam or whoever they say were the perpetrator of the Twin Tower coming down. The system always set up themselves. They create the problem themselves. And then make false flag. That's right. And then make you, the public, believe that they now are the savior of the world. They have to. They must save you. Look at Donald Trump. When Donald Trump came to power, and I believe even before he came, but more so when he came to power, he spoke about Kim Jong of North Korea, how the man have chemical biological warfare, and he must go. It is imminent. He has to go and bring this man down, disarm this man.
So isn't it contradictory that he does has the same biological and chemical?
Absolutely
so
correct.
How can he have it and Kim Jong-un can't have it? Is he God and Kim Jong-un is under his foot?
That's what they want to do.
So Kim Jong-un is his servant?
That's what they want to make us believe. Then the storm came and reap havoc in America and certain parts of America. And then the urgent need for Bush, for Trump to go after Kim Jong went silent. And then after the storm ease off, then you hear that he's now going to have dialogue with Kim Jong, and they're shaking hands and things. They're all fraud.
All.
They're all fraud.
Every one of them.
Every one of them, they're fraud. And I am saying to you, my people, I am saying to you,
wake up.
Wake up. Tonic Aikaya Ali always say to you, and I believe that the brother's heart is heavy when he see that his people, his melanated people, he's saying to them over and over that the system is fraud, and it's like they don't have any ears on their body, so they can't hear. It's like they don't have a brain of their own to think. So at times he has to say to them, man, you all are fools, you all are stupid, you're dotish. But then they want to kill him. Look at this. When a child is young and growing up, again in the same Bible it is written, train up a child in the way he should go. It never says train up a man. When you have your children, or probably nieces or nephews very young under you, and you ask them to do something and they're not doing it in the way that you wish them to do it, you will say to them, you're just like your father, you fool, you idiot, XYZ, right? All type of, derogative and, degraded words you will use to that child to do what you want. Now, Tonic Ike Ali, and when he does it to you, that is adult, that are adults, you're saying to him that he needs to be killed, he needs to be shut up. No, the child, when you were saying to those children or child that they're no good, they're like their fathers, they're wayward, they're idiots, they're fool, do what I tell you to do. The child, even if the child have it in his or her heart to do you anything, they never did it. If you have it in your heart to do Tonic Ike Ali anything that is evil, don't do it, because it is not right. The brother is only speaking out for your right. He's speaking out. Once he breaks you, which he has, broken through, you will benefit. You, John Public, will benefit. Now, the only how that you will not benefit is if you wants to continue, and you know there are many of you who wish to continue the system of slavery because you were trained that there's no other way out. The only way you can do without the system. Sometimes you talk to brother or sister and you tell them, about the system, how they can change and how we were being fraud and how we are still being fraud. And at the end, they will say to you, but what we could do, we can't. There's nothing we could do. It was going on for so many years. No, there's nothing that we can do, my friends. You can do something about it. Stand up and be counted. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Stand for your freedom and be counted. One love.
Yes, my people, Tonic Man and Wafak. We'll just give you a little brief preview of where we see the reality and what really taking place. And Wafak is so correct on everything he's saying. Because sometimes you try to elevate or enlighten someone. They open the ears as if they want to hear, but it just go through one ears and come through the other. Because they don't really take heed. And you would even break it down, like you would say, like when you started from ABC, break it down in syllables, and still, they still couldn't comprehend. It's as if they just rejecting the truth and love a lie. So a lie become truth to them, and the truth become a lie. All we're trying to do is break them from the mental, physical, and spiritual train that the Caucasian bring on them and still have their own descendants infiltrating and forcing it down on them in the form of politicians, civil servants, all of them. Because these are the modern day slave masters right now. It's the same system from the beginning, but the reason we use the word modern day is because this is the present time and that is our own brothers and sisters doing it to us. You understand? Still in a big influence, still controlled by the bigger powers, the so-called super states, such as America and England and the other bigger states that has the power within their hand and order certain laws to be regulated and force it on the Caribbean, throat by way of legislation or whatever. But it's really statutes and policies, codes and ordinance. We know. But we don't really business what we business is stating this point. I would like to see more and more people get out of the darkness and come into the light. I would like to see more and more people stop thinking in the box and come out of the box and get critical thinking. I would like to see more and more people stop talking about what we're gonna do about it and do something about it.
Correct.
Stop make people put shit in your mouth and then get and wash it out and say, oh, I go live, man, I ain't go dead. You're retarded. I don't have to use these words and don't vex with me. That's retardedness and foolishness. You know what I mean? It's the reality. Wake up, people. Wake the fuck up.
Correct. Come on.
You understand?
Get the fuck up. Come
You
on.
think this is time for you to lay down on the ground and you hear child out the balling because she gone outside and crawl out in her aunt's nest and they biting she ass up and you even go to she aid, you wait until she cry must be about 5-6 times? What kind of parent you be? That's a neglect.
Correct.
So you're neglecting your own rights. So you're letting somebody trample your rights. You're letting somebody walk over you and talk about what you're gonna do about it because them tell you about they have soldiers or police on the street.
Yeah.
And them is politicians and they tell you about magistrate and judge. They don't have the power.
No.
You have the power.
Correct.
Take it to fuck back.
Correct.
You are the ones who are the true government. They are all called civil servants. They work for you, not you work for them. So don't let them create a statute to overrule you and violate your rights. Don't let that happen. Take a stand, people. Do something better than what you're doing. Don't let these people have you like some guinea pig or some little minga roll puppet where they tug you on a string, pull you here and pull you there, and all you just doing is just following. Yes, master. Yes, master. Well, it be clungs out. When all again wake up, straight up. Sometimes you might say, oh, we too harsh with this. My youth, if we don't set certain example and talk certain ways, I don't think some of you will ever get the picture.
Correct.
So sometimes we have to tell it in this type of way so that they will grasp it and see, Jed, these people only trying to wake us to fuck up.
Correct.
So we need to wake up. and stop make people ride you like a bumbleclot donkey and beat you with some saddle and tell you about, oh, go get up donkey, go, and beat you. What the fuck do you, the donkey want to live free too?
Correct.
It born free. I born free.
Simple.
So why the fuck I must be a slave if I born free? Like the bird flying around the air, you could tax the bird? You could tax the fucking crayfish in the river?
No.
So why the fuck you are coming invade my land and infiltrate on me and denationalize me and try to force your tax criminal elements down by my throat? That is just like if I coming into your fucking house, invade you, and force you to do something against your will. You're mad people are. Come to them. Them writing on them head, politician writing on them head, magistrate and prosecutor and civil servants and the bar association with the liars and them what they call lawyers. They write in their head. Are them insane? Them better check themselves before they wreck themselves. Because me now give in to that. You see right now, you see from I learn the truth and seek the truth, I cannot know that something is bad for me and go back and involve myself in it. I would be a fool. Only a fool playing your own shit.
Simple.
Yeah. Only a fool will know if he thief that thing the way how the camera them the outside and everything set up and the neighbors over there keep watching. You're gonna get fucking locked up and go and still thief it. That have to be a clown. Clown does that to themselves. So you're gonna know slave master taking advantage of you, using you, and you still walking and going back the same place where he keep doing it to you. You might as well try your head, do like an asterisk. When danger come along to him, push your head in the fucking sand. Because I still can't help it because the lion can still eat him or a cunt. They can still come and bite him. So that's just bare retardedness. So if you're gonna see your rights and just let it be champed on top, but also what we can do, then you might as well line up on a wall and tell them shoot you to fuck now.
Oh, yeah.
Because of their retardedness.
Simple.
Yeah? And I ain't standing for no fuckery.
Simple.
I have my generation, my youth and them, which is my ancestors before that reborn again. You understand? And me too. This is not my first time. This is many of different times that I recycle back into other bodies and art. And just like how I fighting and protecting my indigenous rights and trying to restore my land and my culture and everything is what I was doing in the beginning with all my ancestors such as Shakri and the other Aboriginal people who fought against these colonial people from creating this cooperative slave name such as St. Vincent and the Grenadines in my island. Uromi. Uromi is the name of the island. Get it in on a bumbleclot head. Uromi. Y-U-R-U-M-I-E. Uromi.
Correct.
I have to stress these things to a high level because if I don't give all it in a particular type of way, it don't go through all the head.
Correct.
And if I don't say things in a diplomatical way and stress it in a certain points, it don't go to your head. So you have to hear things in a very harsh and also come back in a very calm way and come back in a very dialectic way where you're going to understand now before some of you grasp it. Although lots of you will still reject it, I will catch the few little ignorant ones because after a while they will realize they're going down the wrong road and they need to correct the step. Otherwise, if they step a little closer, they will drop the fuck over the edge of the bank and break the neck.
Correct.
You understand? So they need to correct the step. If they see they going to the edge of the bank and they only lean a little more, they're going to drop over and big stone they down there. And if they don't fall on the head or fall on the hand, they're breaking up hand, foot, all thing. And who did ever help them if nobody in the day? They're fucking dead. Ball again, ball until they're dead. So this is the point I'm trying to get around for you knuckle-headed fools. Wake the fuck up. Vex if you want vex, but I have to put this out in a diplomatical way, a harsh way, and sometimes simple all at once. You know why? Because, yo, me there dropping these videos and talking the truth and going around and people say, yeah, we understand, we know where you're coming from, but yet they still find themselves eating shit from politicians, the civil servants, the magistrate, the judges, the prosecutor, and the liars, what they call lawyers, over and over again. Instead of stand and fight with me to liberate everything and set everybody completely free, they go against me, they bad talk me, they betray me, they try to frame me, they say I'm crazy because I know too much. I know the truth, so you're crazy. And every time you're wise and you're intelligent and you know more than these fools, you're always crazy.
Correct.
That's the only notion they could put forward. And remind you that I keep saying in a lot of different videos there, everything that is created within society is a product of society.
Mm-hmm.
So the so-called psychiatric or the mental breakdown individual has been breakdown from the stress or the agony that they face within society. And the psychiatric treatment and the psychiatric institution and all that medication is created by society. So remind you, in the natural world, there ain't no one crazy. So they are the real crazy one. Politicians are the crazy one because they have some craving to dominate and try rule over somebody. They feel that if they don't have somebody under their control, they don't have no power. So they're the real crazy people, psychiatric,
Correct.
mental imbalance, you call it, And a policeman feel if he don't push up, screw up a face when he cruising with the gun and he don't play Batman to a man on the block, he ain't getting no respect. That's a clown,
Clown.
If he feel he must show intimidation, coercion, and dress, you know what I mean, and threat so that he could feel like he have some power. So that's how they feel they getting respect. And like I know most of these people who come out to be police officers as people who's been the lowest standard within the same society. When they go to school, they've been abused, they've been bullied, raped, some negative thing happened to them. So they figure, well, the only way to take a little revenge is by going to police force and use the power with the gun and the badge.
That's right.
And exploit even the innocent, along with if they could find back the perpetrator who did them the little bad. But that doesn't give them excuse to go and join the slave system. Because they think what they're doing is something good, but that's the very nature of slavery. So they come back and slave in their own self. They're actually fighting against their own self. Okay? Because it's their ancestors who suffered genocide, pilgrimage, rape, rob, and slaughter just to create these corporations that they go up and say they want to be a police officer to enforce the same system. So they are fighting against their own self and betraying their own ancestors. So not a Judas. That's what they call Judas. The politicians, the civil servants, every one of them, they are called civil servants. They are Judases, betraying their own people. So I just want to get the saying all ahead, And you go tired to see my face, but I ain't coming out the race, I only lashing it, lashing it until wait. When I finally catch where I go, I go say, boy, Tonic, man, talking the truth. He and Wafok and the indigenous moves in America and all over the different Caribbean countries and all up in Africa and all over, and the other Aboriginal people is waking up, taking back the rights and declaring sovereignty and moving towards a brighter future and a good tomorrow for our generation. We don't want to get up tomorrow knowing, well, we have to go pay something to Massa just for walk down the street. Or have to go over to pick up something. We have to pay Massa a little tax, which is extortion, and tell you, boy, you need tax to make country run. But fuck you in system.
Simple.
Did I introduce you? Or you introduce yourself to try to come and infiltrate up on we?
Correct.
We don't need that. I survive just as well and just as good on my own, doing my own stuff in a very diplomatic and intelligent and very smart way without you and your system. So who tells you that I need you?
Correct.
Who give you an information that I need you? I don't need you. I'm a leader, not a follower. And that's what I like to see enough of my people do. Be leaders. Another thing is it that about 85 to 75% of the population, because they don't have no mind of their own, they can't think for themselves. They always believe that they gotta get help from someone or they gotta go and fight to find some little employment, while they can't even think about an avenue or we are creating employment for themselves or a job, in whatever field that would be more beneficial to them and the family, and not bringing the youths. They gotta go turn to the system and be subservient, begging massa for some little cleanup job on the street, or begging massa, which a while massa working for them, but they don't know how to exercise the power to declare with massa what is right from what is wrong, and the tax that you're collecting needs to come back into the public and solve the problem for the poor community. Stuff need to buy and things need to be taken care of. Or they just go out and just be clowns and just go out and just, oh, we have to pay tax for country wrong. All the idiot virgin, although I wake up, all they can't have a community meeting and a community organizers that make sure infiltrate everything that the politicians do to make sure that your government is running right. Why now are they gonna wake up? Even if you want to stay being a citizen, which We Aboriginal people can't be citizens. All the Lego that citizen thing. Citizens is only for the Caucasians. Citizens is slaves. And citizens have no right. So when I hear my black or melanated brothers and sisters tell me them as a citizen of Grenada, citizen of Trinidad, citizen of St. Vincent, I look at them and I say, watch these fools. You know what I mean? Watch these colonies, servant for these colonies, subservient. Look at how ignorant and stupid they are. And if they only know what we know, they never call themselves a citizen every day, another day in their life, you know?
Never.
Never, no.
Never.
If they only have the knowledge what we have, they never go behind politicians and beg them for nothing. They demand everything
That's
from
right.
them.
Demand.
And demand that the magistrate and the police and them be moved from certain position.
Correct.
And that the jail be empty.
Correct.
Because it's being innocent people in jail. The real criminals are the politicians, the police, all the civil servants. Those are the criminals.
Correct. They're the real criminals.
They're the real criminals. Secret treaty of Verona tell about them. Civil law tell about them. Committing violent and commercial crime against we. We Aboriginal people much less to the citizens. And the citizens have rights to it. But because some people don't read enough, they rather read a soap opera, a piece of magazine, a newspaper will come out about bold and beautiful. You know what I mean? Our days of our life. Instead of going to pick up a constitution. Or go and look for the treaties that brought the colony in the country in the first place. To see how fair and how just things was going. And see how they could make a change. And rectify some unjust doings between the brothers and sisters within the so-called society. They rather sit back and eat shit. Now, if I know better, I will do better. And you can't use me, fool me, nor infiltrate me. I must stand up for my rights, my children's rights, and the brothers and sisters out there who appreciate what I'm doing. I stand up for them too. You see the ones them who don't really care and have no mentality of trying to get better for us. My youth, them, they could get walked on the road and get licked down by a vehicle, get shot. I don't give a fuck about them. You know why? Because I don't care about we. I care about who care about we and who wants better for our generation.
Absolutely correct.
And a bright future and to see we be free. Okay? Without these exploiters that call themselves politicians, civil servants, all of them. I don't care about them. For me, I would love ethnic cleansing. So that the ethnic cleansing take place so that we get rid of those people and leave only the people like us around. So that we could come back and inherit and live one unity all over again. My people, love, peace, and respect.